The world Jake Sully left behind was a dying one. Earth, in the year 2154, was a gray, suffocating marble. Population density had choked the forests out of existence, and the air was a toxic soup of industrial waste. Jake, a former marine paralyzed from the waist down, lived in a world of cramped apartments and the neon-lit train. When his twin brother, Tommy, a scientist, was killed in a random mugging, Jake was offered a choice: take his brother's place in the Avatar program on the moon of Pandora. Because Jake shared his brother's genome, he was the only one who could link with the expansive bioengineered body known as an Avatar, a hybrid of human DNA and the genetic material of the indigenous Na'vi. Pandora was not a planet, but a moon orbiting the gas giant Polyphemus. It was a world of lethal beauty. The atmosphere was deadly to humans, requiring exopex at all times. The flora was bioluminescent, and the fauna was nightmarish. At the military base, Hell's Gate, Jake met Colonel Miles Quaritch, a man who viewed Pandora as a personal enemy to be conquered. He also met Dr. Grace Augustine, a botanist who had spent decades trying to understand the Na'vi. While Quaritch wanted Jake to be a spy, Grace wanted him to be a bridge. The first time Jake entered his avatar body, he didn't walk, he ran. For a man who had been trapped in a wheelchair for years, the sensation of soil between 10-foot tall toes was intoxicating. During an initial expedition, Jake was separated from the group after an attack by a Thanator. Alone in the jungle at night, he was nearly killed by viper wolves before being rescued by Neytiri, the daughter of the Omaticaya clan's leader. Neytiri saw a sign from Eywa, the Great Mother, and the biological network of the moon on Jake's skin. Instead of killing him, she took him to Hometri. For months, Jake lived a double life. By day, his mind inhabited his avatar, learning the ways of the Na'vi, how to hunt, how to ride a diri horse, and how to make the bones sahailu. By night, he reported to Quaritch about the internal structure of Hometri, which sat atop the largest deposit of unobtainium the minerals desperately needed. However, Jake was falling in love not just with Neytiri, but with the world itself. He began to see that Pandora wasn't just a collection of resources. It was a living, breathing entity where every organism was connected. The conflict reached a breaking point. The RDA Resources Development Administration demanded the Na'vi move. Jake tried to warn the clan, but he was seen as a traitor when they discovered his original mission. Quaritch launched a brutal assault. Gas and missiles brought down the massive Hometri, killing the clan leader, Itukan, and the thousands of others. The Na'vi were broken, and Jake was disconnected from his avatar and imprisoned. To regain the Na'vi's trust, Jake did the impossible. He tracked and tamed the Leonopteryx Toruk, the most feared predator in the sky. Only 5 Na'vi in history had ever done this. Reading the last shadow, Jake returned to the Omaticaya. He was no more longer a dreamwalker. He was Toruk Makto, a leader capable of uniting all the clans. Jake rallied the plains people, the sea people, and the Ikran riders. A massive war erupted in the Hallelujah Mountains. Humans used gunships and the bombs. The Na'vi used bows, arrows, and the power of the forest. When the Na'vi were on the verge of defeat, the moon itself responded. Eywa heard Jake's prayer. Thousands of forest creatures joined the fight, overwhelming their dust mechanical suits. In a final showdown, Neytiri killed Quaritch, saving Jake's human body just as his oxygen ran out. The humans were sent back to their dying Earths, except for a few friends of the Na'vi. Through a sacred ritual at the Tree of Souls, Jake's consciousness was permanently transferred into his avatar body. He opened his eyes, no longer a human, but a true son of Pandora. Years passed. Jake and the Neytiri raised a family: Natiam, Lok, Tuk, and their adopted daughter Kiri. But the Sky People returned with even greater force. To protect their forest clan, Jake took his family to the reefs of the Metkaina clan. Sir, they learned the weight of water. They adapted to life on the sea, bonding with the Tulkun massive, sentient whale-like creatures. However, Quaritch had been resurrected as our combinant Na'vi soldier with his human memories. He hunted Jake across the archipelago. The final battle took place on a sinking sea vessel. Though Jake and the Neytiri lost their eldest son, Natiam, they managed to defeat Quaritch's forces once more. Jake realized they could no more longer run. Whether in the forest or the ocean, Pandora was their home, and they would fight for it until their last breath. The story ends with the Sully family standing by the sea, mourning their loss but resolute in their connection to the world.